You know what scares me? Not ghosts, not aliens, not even people that leave voice notes longer than 45 seconds. Matter of fact, if your voice note got chapters, just call. But nah, none of that. What terrifies me is privacy, or lack thereof. Because one day, it just left, and nobody said nothing. Nobody filed a missing persons report. Nobody even hung its picture on a milk carton, which is ironic because even the milk carton would have been tracking its location. It's like one day, it just packed its bags and somehow convinced us in society to help carry them. So tonight, as the host, Sal G, I gotta figure out just how we got here. Okay, so apparently, the last confirmed point of privacy was somewhere around 1996, a time where if somebody asked where you were, you could honestly say, you know what, I don't know exactly, out past Waldorf somewhere in the boonies. And that was the end of the conversation. Nobody would expect GPS coordinates, even as a kid. For the most part, your parents would set simple curfew expectations like be home before the streetlights come on. That was our sundial. God turned the sun off and the streetlights came on. And my behind was in the house with the door locked behind me. Not on the way, not running late, but in the house. Okay. Not that in the house. That was an underrated sitcom, but this time I meant it in the literal sense. In comparison to today, you can't even get privacy at home in some cases, if you know what I mean. And if you don't, just know, if you don't live alone, you're not the only one that knows your password. And I'll just leave it at that. And that's just a peek through the peephole of the lack of privacy that awaits you on the other side of that door. Man, not so long ago, by not so long, I mean a generation or so, you could disappear for 6 hours and nobody panicked. People just assumed you was outside, living life. Now, if somebody texts you and you don't respond in 6 minutes, they instantly become a worrywart, retracking your every move. Oh, you ain't talked to him neither? That's not like him to not respond. Meanwhile, my phone just died on my walk because the charger was unplugged, because a special someone took my charging block unbeknownst to me, so I woke up with my phone on 16%. So relax or chill out, which are apparently two words you can only say in private. Okay, back to the story. So history shows the first slip in privacy appeared around, the late 90s with, surprise, surprise, the internet. At first, it was harmless. You logged on, checked your email, listened to a song that took 20 minutes to download, shout out to Napster and Kazaa, and if mom picked up the phone, that download was over. Scan here for a deep dive on that topic. Where was I? Oh yeah. Then, you left the house, but the internet stayed at the computer. Remember that? The internet was stationary, and it had a room or a corner in the room. Then, around 2002, you could begin to instant message friends on the go using the aforementioned Sidekick, which sort of led us into the early social media style sites. And that introduced humanity to a dangerous new phase where everyone felt like everybody needs to know. Just a reminder, they don't. Nobody needs to know anything. In fact, the less they know, the better off you are. Trust us. We don't need a 15-picture slideshow proving you went to brunch. I believe you. Eat your overpriced waffles and your savory, greasy fried chicken that has no business touching syrup, which is another rant for another episode. Anyways, this is where convenience introduced us to the smartphone, which of course is when everything changed. Where we no longer went online, we became online. For real, think about it. Your phone became your camera, your wallet, your flashlight, TV, map, your bank, your music player, your photo album, your travel agent, your doctor, don't recommend that, your alarm clock, your calculator, and your weatherman. Thanks again, Doug. Which means today, somehow the thing with the lowest battery becomes responsible for your entire life. Scary, I know. If that wasn't strange enough, it turns out all these free apps weren't actually free after all. You were paying for them, but just with your information. Where you shop, what you search, how long you stared at a video, how fast you scroll, what keeps your attention. For instance, my phone knows I watched one barbecue video and now apparently I'm opening a smokehouse next week. Corporations began to realize the data became more valuable than the dollars. Your attention became the product, which means we became the inventory. And in studying us, their inventory, they realized human behavior is quite predictable. And the more they learned, the easier it became for them to guess and push what they wanted you to click next. That's why you can whisper, "I need socks" to yourself, and 15 minutes later your phone says, "Would you like drop socks or slouch socks?" Let me not get it confused. Some of this stuff is incredibly useful. GPS gets you home, doorbell cameras catch porch pirates, a lost kid can be found easier, video surveillance solves crimes, so homes are safe. Technology didn't solely create problems. It solved a bunch too, but every superpower comes with a receipt. For instance, Spider-Man had Uncle Ben, and we got monthly subscriptions, so these days we seemingly have it good, but the danger didn't disappear. It just sort of updated its address and, its identity. This isn't new neither. History keeps doing this. Every generation makes the same deal. More safety, less anonymity. The only thing that changes is where we draw the line or sign on the line. We always tend to run back to, we're living in 1984. You remember, right? The Orwell dystopian novel about Big Brother's always watching? Well, we are, but not exactly in that way. In Orwell's book, the government forced surveillance. Today, it's a lot messier. Governments do collect some information, but companies, on the other hand, collect enormous amounts. And we're in on it too. Think about it. We voluntarily upload vacation pictures, our lunch, much, our location, our face, our voice, and then click I have read everything and I agree. When you know, I know, we all know. You didn't read a single stanza. You just click sign and click through to get it over with. And them terms and conditions be longer than the Old Testament too, which ain't an accident. They know ain't nobody reading all that. They actually count on it. And the wildest part about all this, nobody had to force most of us. All you had to do was show how convenient it was. So modern surveillance isn't a perfect match for Orwell's world, but his ideas about pervasive monitoring continue to shape debates about privacy today though. So whatever happened to privacy, you ask? Maybe it faded away. Perhaps it wasn't stolen. Maybe the lack of privacy was a choice. And maybe we chose to trade it for one free app or one location permission or maybe one selfie and plenty of accept alls over time. And now we realize the mystery isn't whether or not somebody's watching anymore. The actual mystery is why we stopped paying attention to who is watching. Or maybe, just maybe we noticed and just liked the attention. So decided, hey, I got nothing to hide, so let them watch and enjoy the show. That is, as long as it's this show they watching, subscribing, and sharing. In the meantime, y'all keep your head up and your eyes open. Seriously, man, I ain't joking. Peace.